Volunteers. One of the things that sets Big Cat Rescue apart from other animal sanctuaries is the legislative involvement that we partake in to try and put an end to big cats being in captivity in the United States. This section of our gift shop is dedicated to the legislative work that we do. Guests will sometimes wander over here and they'll take a look at these poster boards, kind of browse through the paperwork, and then they wander away because they don't have anyone here that can answer their questions. I'm here only on the weekends, but you guys are in a perfect position to also help out with the legislative work that we do here at Big Cat Rescue. Over here on this shelf are the petitions that we ask guests to sign. All they have to do is fill out this part of the petition right here, and then we mail it into their senators and representative. This petition is for a federal bill, the Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act. This is the bill that will try to put an end to private ownership of big cats in the United States. This petition is really easy. People are more than willing to sign a piece of paper to help us fight this cause. But what we really need to encourage our guests to do is to make a simple phone call to their representative and senators. This is where you come into a very important part of this work, because it is your job to try and push them into making this phone call because they don't want to do it. But all you have to tell them is that it's a voicemail. They're not actually having a conversation with anybody, and we've got everything right over here that they need to make that phone call. This computer here is open up to a page where they can type in their address, and it will tell them the names and numbers for their representatives and senators. And then right on this paper in front of the computer, it tells them exactly what they need to say. They just read that simple voicemail into the phone and their work is done. It says that one phone call equals about 100 signatures towards any sort of cause. So if we can get our guests to make a phone call to their representatives and senators to help support our Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act, that equals a lot of signatures, and that's what really gets the attention of the legislators. So anytime you see a guest hanging out in this corner, please come over here and explain to them what we're doing and encourage them to look up the numbers of their representatives. If they make the phone call here, then they get to take home a badge that says that I made the call of the wild, and encourage them to wear it with pride. If they don't have the time to do that here, we've got flyers that gives them all the same information, and it tells them how they can make this phone call at home. If they do choose to make this phone call, please ask them to let us know, because we would really like to keep track of who is being called, how many times these people are calling them, so that way we know who to keep bugging to get these changes made. So when the guest is at the computer, have them type in their address and then they can click continue. And then it gives them a list of all of their federal and state officials. Now the federal officials are the ones that we want them to call for the bill. So to get their contact information, inform the guest to click on the name of the representative, not the box next to it. So when they click on the name, then it will pop up with all of the contact information. So district phone, capital phone, it doesn't really matter which one they call as long as they do call. And then we've got the script for them right up here. This is all that they need to say in the voicemail. And then once they're done, if they want to go back and then call, say, their representatives, which we hope that they would do, tell them not to hit the back arrow. Instead, to go back to the list of names, to hit the X up here, and then they can go back to the names and continue calling their representatives or senators. If they hit the back arrow, then they have to start all over. When you get a guest that actually makes the phone call here in the gift shop, this is the pen that we ask them to take home and then wear with pride so that they feel good about participating in this campaign for big cats in the U.S. So when you're looking for these, we keep them on this shelf over here. Another thing you may get some questions about is what representatives and senators are already supporting us. So we actually have two phone books right here, one of representatives and then of senators. And for all of the representatives that have already agreed to co-sponsor this bill, we've got a green sticker next to their name. So you could go through here, it's alphabetical by state, and you can look up the state of your guest and you can show them which of their senators and representatives have already made the choice to support this bill. And if their representative and senator is one of those people who have agreed to co-sponsor our bill, tell them that they can call them and thank them for supporting that, because they want to know that their voters care about the choices that they're making so they won't change their minds later on. And again, these are also being kept just right down here. So when your guests are filling out the petitions, they're going to notice that it says +4 after the zip code. This is something that we look up on our side, so they don't have to know that. They don't write +4, they just write their zip code. And then once they're done filling out the petitions, we place them in this plastic folder right here. We try to have the sign, please place signed petitions there, but it tends to disappear. So just this little plastic binder right up here is where the filled ones will go. And then at the end of the day, we take all of those petitions into the office where somebody will look up the +4s, and probably that'll be your job as well, so have fun with that. So thank you guys so much for your support and helping us to rescue and protect big cats all across the United States.